Netflix apparently has some genius plan to overthrow Crunchyroll and take over the anime world. And if we don't all recall, if you're caught up on your, anime type of shit, Crunchyroll and Funimation are now one. So I know they've kind of been like intertwined and stuff like that, I'm sure. But they are now fully one. It's one payment. They hit me up like a couple weeks ago, moved all my stuff. And I know Netflix has been they've done a couple live action things with animes and like old cartoons that like were received well by the general population, but the actual deep fan bases hate it instead of what live action animes used to be back in the day, where it was as if it came out, it was immediately trash almost. So I wouldn't be surprised. I'm curious to see. I don't know if this is like a theory video, how much like concrete evidence this is under, but what we got.
Oh my god, this is so sick. Dude, this is so cool. Oh my god, no way. Wait, huh? Netflix has been heavily invested into the growth of its anime catalog. Cyberpunk Edge Runners just won Anime of the Year. And
Holy shit, I forgot about Cyberpunk. That's a Netflix anime, right? That's a Netflix exclusive? That's insane. I don't know why. I can't believe I didn't even think about Cyberpunk. I know I didn't watch it, but I mean, anybody in the anime world, like if you haven't heard about Cyberpunk, I feel like you're living under a rock. I'm not saying you necessarily had to have watched it, but if you don't know what that is, dude, that's crazy. I didn't even think about that.
The House Husband animated a series many thought was impossible to do. Netflix clearly sees an opportunity in the anime genre. They have been steadily increasing their library of titles over the past decade with no signs of stopping. In fact, they're doubling down on their investments into the genre, but there's one thing standing in their way. When it comes to anime, Crunchyroll is by far the go-to streaming service with the largest library and
It was definitely split. Like I think there was a lot of times where I was going to look for an anime or something like that, and a lot of times I did still have to go to Funimation, all the way up until honestly 6 months before like the official like move over. I was still constantly kind of having to go back and forth. So I think they were split more than a lot of people think. But for your general like heavy, need dub, um, big three, your shonen stuff like that. Yeah, I feel like Crunchyroll definitely held those down.
simulcast for a majority, if not all, seasonal releases, the platform dominates the space without question. Crunchyroll, by all means, has a monopoly on the anime industry. Every new series calls Crunchyroll its home, and with over 5 million paid subscribers, the streaming giant is almost untouchable. However,
I will say though, Crunchyroll's really stepped it up. Like today, now that I'm finally getting back into anime, and instead of reading manga, today was the first time I've actually used Crunchyroll like to watch episodes instead of just like looking for a scene when friends are over and stuff like that. The skip intro, the skip outro, the next being up at the top a couple seconds before, like they've definitely stepped up. Crunchyroll used to suck. And even when I had it, I still would use other websites that were definitely 100% legal and not illegal in any way. I 100% was paying and supporting. Um, and like they did it better than Crunchyroll. I think there's still a couple out there that, they just have more of a category or a library, you could say. But Crunchyroll's definitely stepped it up, I think.
isn't smooth sailing for the platform.
Compared to what it used to be.
And if anything, Crunchyroll is entering 2024 with everything to lose. Crunchyroll has been dealing with controversy after controversy, and for years now has seen a steady decline of public approval. After a lawsuit settlement in 2022 regarding the alleged sale of user data, alongside making anti-consumer decisions at almost every turn, Crunchyroll is seemingly taking advantage of their position in the industry at the detriment of the anime community as a whole. The biggest issue with Crunchyroll is that they are well aware that they own a monopoly. They can be as greedy and anti-consumer as they want, because at the end of the day, what are you going to do about it? Obviously, the answer is to just pirate, which, let's be honest, who does it nowadays?
Oh, wait. What were those numbers? What were those numbers?
Crunchyroll shamelessly pulls the, come on guys, support the
studios
nowadays, but that
fuck. So 48%, almost 50% pirate, and then the other were Crunchyroll, Netflix. Wow, that's crazy. I mean, this is only 1,000 votes, so it's not really that much when you think about it. But that's almost 500 some people right there that still say that they pirate. That's crazy. I'm not surprised though. It's so easy.
Which, let's be honest, who does it nowadays? But that's when Crunchyroll shamelessly pulls the, come on guys, support the studios and the artist card. In theory, subscribing to Crunchyroll and watching the shows.
Bro, and this is how the anime industry gets you. Because and not every anime watcher knows this. I definitely won't say like every anime, but if once you kind of dabble your feet into the anime industry, you start to learn about how animes are made. You kind of start to understand how animes are made. Oh, they come from manga and the mangas are hand drawn. Oh, and then they take these pages and then they put them into the system, and then they move everything all from there, and then you realize, oh, they're also working 120 hours a week. Like, that's crazy. So subconsciously you sit there and you're like, "Oh, I don't want to pay for this, but I also don't want to lose the studios that are doing on it because they make piracy look like it's actually a terrible problem and that they're, that you're the one that's indirectly not getting them paid." I mean, it's marketing 101, but oh man.
Legally does support the studios, but there are no statistics on where this revenue actually goes, and realistically, it's probably going to
See
the
what I mean? Like, he talks about it right there. There's no even actual evidence to show where the money goes. Like, they just sit there and say, "Oh, it supports the official." Like, dude, if it supports the official release, when we talk about massive shows that have popped off, like Luffy Gear 5, the end of Attack on Titan, honestly, like all of Jujutsu Kaisen when Blue Lock was out, like these people, like Crunchyroll is just, they so much money and whatnot. It's like those releases alone, the money that they make, come on, guys. We know they're not sinking that right back into the industry. Come on.
big studios, with most likely very little, if any, being kicked back to the animators actually creating the series we enjoy. Crunchyroll
No.
is also notoriously hostile to voice actors and does everything in their power
Are you fucking serious? Western voice actor accused Crunchyroll of bigotry for casting white actress as somebody. Oh, okay. I thought there was maybe like more to this right underneath. I was curious if there was any quotes.
undercut and underpay the artists that work on these shows. However, the most
I'm not surprised, bro. Listen, what is it? Overworked and underpaid? Like, come on. Come on, guys. We're not surprised.
blatant middle
This is
finger
big
to the
court.
anime community happened just recently. On February 8th, 2024,
Uh-oh.
Funimation formally announced the end of their service. With its final day in operation in early April of 2024, the service will fully merge with Crunchyroll, giving the platform total control. The nail in the coffin, however, was a complete removal of the Funimation
Oh, this pissed a lot of people off. I remember this.
digital library. Picture this: you go to the store and you see your favorite anime series on the shelf. Inside the box is a digital code, which you paid extra for, by the way. You would redeem that digital code on Funimation, which allowed you to download and watch the series online or off. Now keep in mind, you paid for this digital copy. It wasn't thrown in out of the goodness of their heart or some special bonus. However, on April 2nd of 2024, every purchase you made will vanish into thin air. Now, the legality of this is dependent on user agreements and terms of service that nobody reads anyway, but the morality of this is beyond horrendous. The discussion of digital ownership has been a hotbed topic for the past couple of years, and now Crunchyroll has added more fuel to the fire with their utter disregard for the consumer. Obviously, Crunchyroll is in the wrong, but there's a reason why they're making the choices they are. Money. Sony purchased Crunchyroll from AT&T in August of 2021. At the time, Sony was already the owner of Funimation, one of the only true competitors in the space. However, even at the time, Crunchyroll was the go-to place to stream anime, and everything else was always seen as secondary to its reign. Sony's solution? Just buy it. Why even bother to compete when you could just purchase the competition?
Yeah, I mean, that's the way. Now you can't beat them, join them. They're annoying competition. Just buy them then.
Create the monopoly we see today. Anime is a booming industry. Over the past 20 years, it has become one of the largest industries in the world. However, the genre has seen a majority of its worldwide growth over the past 5 years alone. The anime industry as a whole reached $22.5 billion in 2020, and by 2032, the global anime market may be worth around $53 billion, which is more than companies like Ford, Spotify, and DoorDash. With an industry on track to more than double, we're going to start to see more and more companies try to get their piece of this delicious animated pie. Enter Netflix. The streaming giant who held the crown for 20 plus years is doing everything they can to make their mark. Knights of Sidonia was the platform's first entry to its original catalog. Released in 2014, the series was released to mixed reception. The series was
Yo, anybody that's seen that, like, let me know. Let me know what you think about this. I'll be curious because this was like their first one. I wonder what that shit's like.
succeeded by a variety of releases, some good and some not so good. Netflix had their first major hit with the release of Seven Deadly Sins, which gave
Oh my god, Seven Deadly Sins is a Netflix hit. I forgot about that. Yeah, I mean, oh, it's Netflix is they've low key been cooking. Like think about the rest of this video. I bet you right after this is gonna go like 2 more minutes of names of animes they've released, and I'm gonna be like, holy shit! Like that's how low key secretive I feel like it's been. Like it's just like for every 10 banger animes that are out there, it's like there's like one or two that are Netflix. Like that's I didn't even think about this, dude. It's like just it's just hitting me here.
Netflix all the proof that they needed that anime was not something to ignore. Series like Violet Evergarden and
Wait, do not tell me.
Little Witch Academia were released to high praises, yet nothing really stuck until Netflix truly hit.
Shut the fuck up. Violet Evergarden was a Netflix original. That's one that I watched the whole show. I did not I didn't finish the movie. It was a good show. Like it was when I was just kind of sick of watching like shonen and battle anime. Like I went down some other ones, and that's crazy. That was on Netflix. Holy fuck.
Their stride
That's example number 3, dude.
with Devilman Crybaby and Agretsuko.
I heard Devil May Cry Baby was like that's like a 50-50 one. A lot of people I know that like watch anime have watched it. Tell me it's good.
These two shows truly solidified Netflix as a serious contender in the anime space, but Netflix wasn't satisfied. They wanted more. Baki, Beastars, Great Pretender, Doro Hedoro,
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Netflix could not be stopped. These shows didn't cut any corners when it came to production value, as Netflix is known for their deep pockets when it comes to their first-party products. The moves made by Netflix were finally paying off, and in 2020 they revealed that their anime audience had more than doubled. And over the past 3 years, Netflix realized that like their other content, the true key was in diversification. Their original productions had seen success, but for Netflix to break...
Yeah, I mean, think about it from Netflix's perspective. Why would you not just load your platform up with anime? Yeah, I mean, from like a global perspective of how many people are getting into it, have been into it, like he said, by 2030, like 50 some billion potential market. Like, yeah, why would you not? And if anybody's got the money, it's them.
major ground, they would need the best of the best. Demon Slayer, Hunter x Hunter, One Piece, Naruto, Death Note, Vinland Saga were all added to Netflix's arsenal. Even though these titles were not exclusive to Netflix, they were crucial to their success in the space.
Yeah, I mean, that is huge. I never even thought about that. Like, they don't even have to worry about exclusivity at that point because it's just, you're just trying to get more eyes on it. Yeah, these are all on there and they kind of just got in there like recently. Big brain, Netflix.
Over 50% of all Netflix users watched at least one anime in 2021, and with a
50% of Netflix users watch at least one anime? Let's go, dude. That's good shit. People are finally realizing there's more out there.
subscriber count of 209 million at the time, that's no small number. With Netflix adding massive franchises alongside the releases of their originals like Cyberpunk Edge Runners, Comey, and Black Clover, Netflix...
Stop right now. Stop right now. No shot. No way. You're lying to me.
like Cyberpunk Edge Runners, Comey, and Black Clover.
No shot. You're about to tell me that Black Clover is a Netflix original. Do not. Like, there's no way. I have to Google this. I genuinely, I don't believe this. No. I refuse to believe it. That's the movie. That's just the movie. I don't think I don't think the original Black Clover is I don't think so.
Netflix is looking unstoppable. Fast forward to 2024, and they're kicking off the year with one of the most well-received seasonal anime with Delicious in Dungeon. If it's any tell of how things will continue, then Netflix is in for an amazing year. In 2023, Netflix's biggest success by a landslide was the One Piece live-action serise. And this
was pretty well received by a lot of people. The One Piece live action. You know, I don't know how like you feel about it here in chat, but like I've seen it on Reddit. Like it got a lot of good reviews for a live action. I think there's a lot of people that still didn't like it, but anime is just these fans are so dedicated because a lot of these products have been a part of people's childhood. They've been out since the late 90s, early 2000s, and now like that's 20-30 years ago. So no matter what you do, they're always going to kind of nitpick and they're going to get mad. Like the deep fans, But as far as the newer generation, like you don't have to worry about the original fans, to be honest, which kind of sucks because like I am one of them. Like the Dragon Ball live action, like that fucking sucked. And like what they do, they tried to milk it for money. They barely spent any money on the actual funding of the movie. The movie did decent in theaters on like launch weekend because everybody was like, "Oh my god!" And then we all realized it sucked. Um, but yeah, I mean it's big brain for sure. Um, but it's such a big market that it's free. But the One Piece one just overall people took that really well.
First attempt at live action. In fact, their track record was pretty hit or miss. The One Piece adaptation, however, was their golden ticket. The live action series garnered 19 million views with over 145 million hours of watch time.
That's
show
insane.
Was ranked top 10 in 93 countries and number 1 in 73 of those. And the show was an instant hit and surpassed series like Wednesday and Stranger Things, but this is where Netflix makes their biggest move yet. The One Piece anime is notorious for its, lack of a better word, horrible pacing. Everybody knows it and it's no surprise, but it's not like you can remake a series that's still airing, right? Well, Netflix thinks differently. After the massive success of the live-action adaptation, Netflix decided that their next big first-party release was going to be The One Piece.
Yeah, I mean, you got to remember if they got the rights as Netflix to do like a movie One Piece, you know there was talks then already. Like the seed was planted at that moment. Like, hey, if the live action works, we'll do the. Oh my god, Netflix, dude, holy
A
shit.
seasonally released adaptation that by all means has the ability to be the definitive method to watch the series. And of course, exclusive.
I'm gonna be honest, man. If they basically make like a One Piece Kai like Dragon Ball used to, and they do it right, oh man, if they shorten One Piece, and obviously it's still going on, we imagine it's got to end like everybody's been saying like, oh, it's gonna end soon, but like it's got to end like soon-ish, like next 5 years, I would assume. I don't watch the show, but I would assume that it's got like 5 years max. Because even like a Dragon Ball, who was like the OG of all of it, like you could tell they definitely were like they slowed down a lot. Like it's being phased out. So I mean, to start all right, like there's still so much, right? There's like 1100 or 1000 episodes, so you have all of that catching up to do. And if they basically just kind of like release like big bulks at a time, not actual seasons, because it's going to be sped up obviously, because the whole point is to get rid of the pacing. But if they just release like 100 episodes at like at a time, I don't want to say once a year because I feel like that's not enough. Twice a year, like that's, dude, people are gonna eat that shit up.
On
Because how many people, I'm one of them, like how many people have sat there and been like, man, I would totally watch One Piece, but if I like I'm not in for the 1,000. Like I'm not in, because it has such a low filler rate too. It's like a 9% filler, so you're watching canon like 900 plus episodes at this point.
Netflix. The show is already in production, and with Wit Studios behind the animation alongside Netflix's almost limitless budget, the show.
Yeah, this is what's also huge too, is that not only are they getting the rights, they're also getting the studios. Wit Animation, like that's not some new name, that's not new anything, like that's an established name. They're getting people that know what the hell they're doing.
Has the opportunity,
because the whole thing with anime is, once what makes it so special is the Japanese culture, and once you start taking that stuff out, it's not going to be quite the same. But if you can get the exact same studio to do it and you own the rights, you're in. There's almost nothing left to do
to completely change one of the biggest franchises on earth. Netflix is already the second largest platform for anime in the world. Depending on the success of the remake, we might see Netflix tackle other series like Naruto or Bleach, just to name a few. But all of their moves indicate their desire to come for the throne, but we all know who wears the crown. So now we look at the bigger picture, and as it stands right now, Netflix can't compete one-to-one with Crunchyroll. However, based on how things have unfolded over the past couple of years, we could potentially see something flip. The fact of the matter is that Crunchyroll is on the decline in terms of public opinion and favorability. At the same time,
all right, so like you guys remember like earlier in the video and I said, oh, Crunchyroll's been doing good, like I just disregard that. I didn't know about all this, like I didn't know about all this. Okay, I'm talking about from, I use it every once in a while, and like the app, listen, you say the app needs fixing, the app on this LG TV, brother, smooth it. I love it, but I remember watching it like on my phone and it was horrible. Like it was terrible on iOS, Obviously I don't own any Androids, like it was, so I'd assume it was bad there too. But the app on the TV, man, that was smooth. The app on the PlayStation back in the day used to be like pretty buggy, and like the Fire Stick with like, way back. But yeah, they definitely fixed the TV, at least for me. And when I was talking about it being good, yeah, that's what I mean. It logs out with the Fire Stick and the Roku. And yeah, I remember that. I remember that for sure. Yeah, that's not a problem for me anymore. I can definitely say on a TV.
Some can argue that within the anime community, Netflix is on the rise. Obviously, there
Yeah, and you're 100% right. The Fire Sticks and the Roku PlayStation, that's what a lot of people use on. And what's most common is the phone. And the fact that they're, because the phone also translates to tablets and all that stuff, iOS being as shitty as it was back then, that's a huge market miss. I mean, that is you have to make it, phone has to be your highest priority. On the go, like phones, tablets, that's got to be your number one.
won't be any major changes overnight, but if things continue to trend the way that they have been, it's impossible to rule out a potential meeting between the two trajectories, meaning that by some unforeseen series of events, Netflix might overtake Crunchyroll in terms of public opinion and favorability. Netflix also has 20 years of experience in the streaming space, so their ability to manage and upkeep such a large library of titles would be nothing for them. Netflix also boasts an almost flawless user experience, as well as being accessible on pretty much every platform you can think of. All of their pieces are put in place, and they're moving ever so steadily towards checkmate. Netflix also recently added the addition of simulcast for the Egghead arc of One Piece. It wouldn't be crazy to assume that Netflix is perfecting their—
Let me tell you right now, bro, Netflix wants to run it down. All of Naruto. Naruto Shippuden, put all of it dubbed. I will never forget when I was watching Naruto. I don't even remember what I started on, bro. And if you want to finish Naruto Shippuden in English dub, brother, you have got to sit there and just go through. Like, it is such a pain in the ass. If Netflix wants to win, just do that. The literally, you want to win over the anime community, I promise you, with how many new people that are only coming into anime that but maybe haven't seen it, everything like that, just Netflix, I promise you. And I know this is very difficult, trust me, and I shouldn't be sitting here giving, being the one to say it, but like, just get all of Naruto and you're in there. Yeah, and you're in there. I stopped at like 150. Yeah, like it's crazy. It wasn't until Shippuden that I ran into it. Whatever I was watching it on, I got all of it. All of base Naruto, and then it wasn't until Shippuden that we had to go to other means that were 100% paid for, and definitely not, not pirated websites.
To launch the addition of more seasonal releases. Netflix famously unveils entire new series with all the episodes all at once, which has been a major detriment to some previous titles in the past. If Netflix is able to facilitate a more standard weekly release schedule through not only their service, but simulcast as well, it's only a matter of time before more studios look at Netflix as a worthy platform to host their new releases. From the addition of mainstream franchises accompanied by their soaring first-party catalog, Netflix is truly solidifying their push to not only rival Crunchyroll, but to take the crown for themselves.
That was a good ass video, man. Oh, I gotta go back. I don't want that. That was crazy, man. That guy pointed out a lot of things that like I just didn't even think of. I'll link it to you guys here. Go like it, do whatever for the guy. This is a W video. I hope he makes a whole bunch more like this. Hey, dude, look, you'll be happy. He's got some One Piece stuff. He's a big oh my god, this was his blow up video. You can tell 50K views, insane, not gonna lie. Dude, this was a great video. This was such a good video. I'm not crazy about defending Netflix practices, but Crunchyroll needs to be humbled badly. See, dude, this is crazy. Like, and I literally just started using Crunchyroll again. So when I say it is good for me, I am talking about specifically on an LG TV. I'm not even saying TV because there's a bunch of TVs that I don't think Crunchyroll is even available on, but that's just me. As an anime fan for almost 25 years, really hope the anime industry grows more. And that the animators definitely, yeah, I mean, dude, we got to figure something out here. Yeah, this is a good video. I like it.